I pitched to the producer of the film that it should be like the telenovelas from the 90s. So it was like the inspiration to use like hits, Latin hits from the 90s to do as a jukebox musical. And then it just developed into this. Are there any Latin Americans here? And so you're like, you know, melodrama, and you like. So we grow up with this stuff, like watching this, and you know, for us it's kind of sacred. But you know, to me it was really important to try to elevate it and also have a little fun with it, and play with the tropes and laugh at certain things. But also, you know, it's a mixture of like, what do you do with melodrama, right? And I wanted to like celebrate it and embrace it. And it's tough because, you know, as filmmakers, we try to stay away from melodrama and from farce. But here the challenge was like embracing it in a way that feels slightly sophisticated, or just treats the audience like as smart human beings.
It must be impossible to change things if it's pre-recorded.
Yeah, casting. I mean, you just gotta cast people that are good and that have that ability to just perform and while they're like hearing their voice. Casting was a huge. I mean, we were looking for her. We saw just about everyone in Latin America for that role, and like famous people and non-famous, and singers and actresses, and we just found her. She's Cuban, and she was, because she had to do, she has to do she has to speak English and Spanish that sounds like English and Spanglish, but also sing and dance and make you laugh and, you know, cry and whatever. And yeah, she's the only one that, you know, I thought we couldn't do this movie because of casting until I saw her, and it's like, okay, I think we have a movie now. So Mexican cinema in the 40s was like the last time. Mexican movies used to be very musical and very like epic and show like landscapes and really showcase Mexican culture to the world. And those are the movies that we went back and looked at, because we did want it to feel just like very like classic and timeless and really like celebrate Mexican culture.
What are some of those movies?
It's basically, I mean, Gabriel Figueroa, who was a cinematographer from that time and shot, you know, everything from Buñuel to El Indio Fernández. And then we just looked at Mexican painters. The DP loved like how Mexico treats color, which for us as Mexicans sometimes is just chaotic, and it's just like a crazy chaos of color. But he would love that, you know, he would see those things, the DP, be like, oh, look, that's beautiful. And it's like, really, is that beautiful? And then he would make me see what he saw, and then it translated into this. To me, my journey here was like, I wanted to stay away from comedy because I wanted to be a serious filmmaker, and then, which is, you know, a stupid idea that if comedy can't be a serious thing. But in AFI, you know, I was like, I'm going to the school that, you know, all these great people, like, I'm not going to do comedy, right? So I made these really like pretentious short movies that were so bad. Like, I got destroyed on this stage so many times. Until, I think it was, I don't know if it was Peter, but he's like, why are you making these movies? They are not you. They are not your voice. Like, you came here with a comedy. Like, just do you, because no one else can do you. So I listened to that instinct, and I learned that now I always look like, what is it that I can add to this project? Like, why am I the only person that can tell it, or that can tell it best? And to me, that was finding a particular sense of humor into something, you know, And that was my voice